Okay, this is answers to discussion question week 8, and I'm starting with question 1. All right, finding points using the linear equation. Okay, here's the linear equation that you're going to use, y equals 2x plus 1. For this equation, you're going to create a set of points, and that means you're going to plug a value in for x, so you pick the value, and then you calculate the corresponding y when you put your value through the equation. And I'm going to work on these. And then to keep track of the work you've done, you plug it into a chart for when x is 3, y is 7. So you can keep track, and these become coordinates on the line. Here is our linear equation. Y equals 2x plus 1. And if you remember a linear equation, its formula is y equals mx plus b. If you look at this, when we say we have a linear equation, we have m and b filled in. Those are not letters anymore. But we don't have values for x and y because those values change. So a linear equation is complete if it has a y equals a number times x, and that number times x will represent the slope. And then plus another number. That outside number here represents the y-intercept, the b. So the whole point of this x and this y is exactly what we're going to do right now. We use the linear equation given to determine points on the line because x and y represent coordinates. And as you know, coordinates are on a graph, and they allow us to make points, which is my point. Yeah, that's a stupid joke, right? Okay, so we are going to make points, and I can say that because I plug in an x value, any number in the world that I feel like plugging in, and I like to start with 0. So I'll plug in an x value of 0, and I solve for y. That's how I use the linear equation. So that gives me y equals 2, and instead of x, I'm putting in that 0 times 0 plus 1. So y, when x is 0, equals 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So y equals 1 when x is 0. Okay, let's try another point. Let's plug in 1. When x is 1, that means, and I'm going to draw all these out, y equals 2, and plug in the 1 for x, plus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So then y equals 3 when x equals 1. This is the whole point of using a linear equation because, wait, did I do that right? No, y equals 3. The point of doing a linear equation or using the equation is to draw a line. So you draw the line because the x and the y in the equation are coordinates. You can plug in a y value and then turn and get an x. We can do that. In fact, when you plug in 0 for y, you're going to get the x-intercept. And we're going to go over that concept. So let's plug in 0 for y. Let's say 0, because I'm replacing y with 0 now, equals 2x plus 1. Well, because we're all getting so good at algebra, we could solve for x, which means minus 1 on both sides, which then gives us nothing here because it goes away. This becomes minus 1. So now we have minus 1 equal 2x. I'm squishing it in here. So then we divide both sides by 2. Both sides divided by 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So we get x equal negative 1/2. Well, that's weird. But that gives us when x is negative 1/2, y is 0. And when y is 0, you have the x-intercept. So this line is going to cross at that point where x is negative 1. So, or negative 1/2. Let's say we go out to 5 here. 5, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative. So negative 1/2, we go about halfway, we go halfway between 0 and 1. So it's about here, but we don't put a point yet. We have to look at y. Well, the value of y is 0, so I'm not going any direction up or down. So I'm stuck on the line, and that is what's called an x-intercept, where the line crosses the x-axis. So let's look at the other points we've made. We made a point 1, 3, so we can plot that point. We start in the middle. We go to the right 1 because it's positive. We go up 3 because it's positive, and our point is approximately right there. Let's look at our other 0 value. When x is 0, we start in the middle. We cannot go any direction because x is 0. So then our next step is to go y. We go up 1, and we have what's called the y-intercept because the point on the line crosses the y-axis. Again, I will go over that. So basically, by finding points using this system, you are able to draw the line. And that's why a linear equation is used. It tells us how to draw a line. We all know how to draw lines, but we need a line with specific characteristics. The characteristics of this line are that it crosses the y-axis at point 1, so that's the y-intercept. It has a slope of 2 over 1, which is rise over run. So the slope is 2 over 1. That means all I have to do is find a point, go up 2 to the right 1, and I can get to another point on the line. If I go up 2 to the right 1, I can find another point on the line. I can go up 2 to the right 1 and find another point on the line. That's what the slope tells us about this line. And because the slope is a positive, we know that it's going up. If we walk along the ground in this direction, we come to this place where we're climbing up. So this is an upward slope. If we came along in this direction and the line was moving down, then it would be a negative slope. That's a lot of information. The gist of the answer to this problem is you're going to be making points, and that's up to you how you want to plug in x values to get y values, or plug in y values to get x values. Either direction gives you coordinates so that you can make points on a line.